Hi everyone. Today I'm going to introduce you guys to uh, the CIS 555 mobile application development for the spring semester 2026. Because of the family health issue, um, I think first 2 weeks we are going to I'm going to send you the online lecture, not online lecture, but oh yeah, online, not face to face, the meetings, but online with the recordings of my lecture. So from the first class, I'm giving you my recordings with the introduction of the classes, starting with the syllabus. So I'm Dr. John Yoon. This is my phone number, office phone number at Dobbs-Ferry campus. And my office hours here, three time blocks. Mondays and Wednesdays, Manhattan campus, and Tuesday, Westchester campus. This course covers the mobile application developments. So we'll start with some development life cycles of mobile applications. Focusing more on the smartphones applications, specifically iPhone applications. So prereq for this class is coding skills in any programming language. I'm not going to expect you to know anything about Swift or Swift UI. But if you have any experience and skills, the coding skills, that will be enough. Particularly if you have a mindset of problem solving, that'll be a big plus. So the course goal is to build the mobile services in a secure manner. Therefore, you guys can understand the ecosystems and practice smartphone apps developments and implementation of that. So by the end of this semester, you may be able to list the development principles of smartphone apps and how you can plan for design and test according to the smartphone mobile apps development life cycles. Particularly, you will gain coding skills of Swift UI so that you can implement smartphone applications. Some of the security issues comes together. Assessment of the learning. So basically, it's a project based. So you guys needs to complete the project toward the end of this semester, and along the way, I am going to give you quite a few homework assignments. Basically, your homework assignments is the completion of the work that we cover in class. So lots of the coding labs will be given to you. Some of you may be able to finish it in class, but many of you may not. Therefore, completion of the work that I am sharing with you needs to be completed, right? So that is the homework assignments, unless otherwise specifically requested or assigned. So hands-on assignments, these are homework assignments. Documentation and functionalities is the most important. Okay. And some of the hardness, not only this in security, but also in functionalities. And it should be executable, and your testability is important. We're going to meet Wednesdays, 11:40 at Manhattan campus, 425. But as I said, first 2 weeks, you should not come. You stay at home, and I'll give you a lecture so you can catch up. Okay? Of course, I am going to post basically as usual 3 things every week. Lecture notes, which is on slides, sets of slides will be posted first of all, and then my recordings, lab recordings, my lecture, and then I believe homework assignments, homework. Okay, so at least 3 things will be posted per week. There's a no textbook. Okay, so I'll put here no textbook. There is quite a few years ago, I wrote the book only the difference between the codings that we are doing here in this semester and then written in this the book is the tool sets. The tool that we are going to use for this semester is Swift UI. But tools that used and described in this book is UIKit. UIKit is an earlier version of and also easier way that you can build the user interface. But Swift UI is purely codings. So by using UIKit, there's a drag and drop type of user interface developments. But the one that we are going to do in this semester is a more professional way. So everything is in coding. So you may be able to see it. Textbook is strongly recommended. It is not really, because we are not going to follow. Okay. Other requirements. This is important. MacBook is a must, MacBook. Okay, if you do not have a MacBook, very difficulties following this class. Okay, keep that in mind. So either you get the MacBook, or I think you may take another class if you do not have a MacBook. That much that is critical. So we are going to work on Xcode. The language is Swift. The version of this is not really this. So in the second week lecture, I'm going to explain more about this, how you can download it and everything. And also iPhone is important. If you want to test it on your iPhone. But this is not mandatory because a MacBook has an emulator, so you can see how your applications functions. So everything can be done here on MacBook. This is something extra. So you will receive lots of homework assignments. The late submission, there will be a 10% penalty per day. Okay, technically, therefore, if your submission is maybe 10 days late, then although you submit, you will receive 0 points. Some of the article review assignments may be able to give them to you, then you will follow this. This course requires a project. Okay, project is say here 40% weight, and a homework assignment 55%. So details of the project is given to you in the appendix at the end of this syllabus. So you will be able to see that. Requirements for this project is not only the implementation, but also demo. So you need to give us a demo and also written reports. So demo, maybe 5 minutes, explaining about your code and also demonstrations. In the written reports, you need to follow this organizations. Organization is important. Someone simply describes from the first sentence to the end. There's nothing that I may be able to see. What is the introduction? What is the problem description? What is the related work? What is your approach? So everything is mixed. Then your written report may not be credited much. Okay. This is grading scales, 100 points percent, and then this is from this. You will be your points will be converted to the letter grade like this. Probably this is a graduate course, so maybe up to this. Okay. I'm going to move to the course schedule. So first week, introductions. Second week, ecosystems and Swift fundamentals. So we'll look at some of the Swift code. Okay, next week. And we'll follow this. Okay. Somewhere here, then we're going to use the built-in sensors. For example, camera, microphones, motion sensors, and also GPS is part of this. But for GPS, because that location is very, very important, so there will be another sessions here: location and map, security, and then finally there's a capstone project presentations. Okay, now your project. So guideline is attached in this appendix, so you can look at this at any time. It requires using this. So iOS app architecture and native iPhone features. There is a cameras and some of the sensors, for example, GPS, networkings. Your iPhone has Wi-Fi network connections. So through the network, you may be able to access any remote database or any RESTful server, so that you can download the JSON data, and then you can manipulate it and visualize it. So manipulate and visualize. And then the result of that data may be stored. So persistence storage is important. So with that, a little more in details. So there's an iPhone native iPhone features. You may use some of those. And the data access, you can use a local data source or remote data source. For example, RESTful APIs, or in the lecture lab, I am going to give you an access to the RESTful API for this class only. Okay, so that's not public API server, but I set up API servers, so you may be able to use that as well. Okay, that is a remote source, because I already set it up on Google Cloud server, so you can access it. From there, you need to request the JSON and then load the JSON. Some of the things needs to be done. At this point, you may not understand everything that, described here on this guidelines, but you may be able to understand what it means as you learn some more technologies, right? So data manipulations, not only this, you may be able to more. On your iPhone, you need to visualize the data that you can fetch from local database or remote database. So there is some of the features available from the Swift UI, so we can use it. Some of the visualizations, yeah. And the persistence data, we can use, well, actually local. On your iPhone, there is a SQL Lite database embedded. It's not MySQL. Remote, maybe MySQL, right? Because of my the Google Cloud server, the RESTful, the PHP servers has a MySQL at the back end. Therefore, data can be accessed from MySQL and then respond back to your iPhone request in JSON formats. All right, that type of things will be discussed also. Tools and technologies, Swift, the version 5s, Swift UI, Xcode, and more. Depending upon your applications, if you are going to use GPS data, then MapKit, some of the audio and visual, audio and video data involved, then you need to use AV foundations, combine multiple different the files can be combined together synchronously or asynchronously. So those are things that you may be able to know. And deliverables, working iPhone app is a must. So strong UI is needed. And project report, 6 to 10 pages long, details that already in similar to that, right? So you can consider you need to include everything of this on the organization that I mentioned in the earlier in this syllabus. Demo, about 5 minutes demo, and code also needs to be submitted. And the evaluation in this way, functionality 20%, use of iPhone features 15%, data access, JSON 50%, data manipulation, visualization. According to this, yeah, I think total is 130 points. All right, this is about the syllabus. So I'm going to give to you some of the small lecture for today. This mobile technology is nothing but the infrastructure, protocols, devices that enables wireless communications and mobile computings. By the way, this is the video explains about new trend. This is a most recent CES shows. I think it was ended last week, right? Last Wednesday, Friday. I'm not sure this, yeah, maybe. Last week is by time. Okay, so let's look at this.
We're deep into CES 2026, and even though I've been here so many times, the sheer scale of this place never ceases to amaze me. I've seen so many interesting things this year, from a dog that looks like a Muppet to help people with dementia, to a smart ring that allows you to take notes wherever you are. But that's just scratching the surface of the thousands of innovations here, so these are the things that caught my eye the most. Let's dive into the coolest tech at CES this year. I really didn't want to talk about TVs at CES because they're just everywhere, but you can't help but marvel at the new LG W6 wallpaper TV. While you might think the headline is just how thin it is, and at 9mm it is really thin, it's the overall aesthetic that really wows. Because as a truly flat back, it can sit really flush to the wall, and with minimal bezels, that looks amazing. But it's more than just that. The picture quality is excellent too, because I spent some time talking to LG Display this week. There's a separate internal company that makes the panels for the TV, about how this technology is packing enhanced colour due to the new OLED structure inside, and managing to almost completely eradicate reflection. That's really important because it means you can have a great picture no matter where you are, if you set it up in the room on the side or the front, and colours look deep, rich and impressive with great viewing angles. Now, sadly, we don't know the price, but it sounds like this won't be the tens of thousands of dollars mark we saw for the original wallpaper OLED TV, but closer to the current range. Now, this e-ink AI generation photo frame has actually been on Kickstarter for a month or two, but seeing it in the flesh, I had to tell you about it now. The idea is simple. You've got an e-ink frame, there's a microphone inside it, and it connects to ChatGPT's image generation engine. And you simply tap the front and ask it to generate whatever picture you like. From there, you get the artwork you want every day, meaning the pictures around you can alter as your mood changes. I tried this out, and while it was a little slower than it should have been to generate the image, it was 2 minutes, which apparently was just due to the amount of people, which makes sense at CES. The results were still impressive. For instance, I asked it to create a bear looking confused about honey with stars above it, and I got a bear looking confused about honey with the stars above. That makes sense. What's cool about this though is you can also add in your own art through the app, or save the images you've created to use again. Frameic is also looking to expand the powers of these frames too. For instance, let's say you're watching a movie on Netflix, the poster art around will change to match, making it feel like you're in a more dynamic gallery. We can get one of these frames in the 14 by 18 inch size that we're seeing here for $399, or go up to the larger 24 by 36 poster model for $999. This segment is sponsored by TimeKettle. Now, it's amazing to be able to use technology to speak an entirely different language to someone, but it's so frustrating if it sounds stilted. Live translation tools have come a huge distance in a short amount of time. If they miss the nuances when translating English to Korean compared to translating English to German, for example, the experience still feels like a struggle. Now, that's why TimeKettle's state-of-the-art translation engine selector is an incredible change, as it understands how different language pairs need nuanced responses. By being able to choose the right engine in real time, it brings a strong translation, doing the thinking that the user shouldn't have to do. It's like having a native speaker do the translation for you rather than just someone who can kind of speak the language trying to convey the meaning. This upgrade is rolling out across the entire TimeKettle family starting in January 2026 and coming to all devices by the end of March. So whether you're using the W4 earbuds, which were already among the best for general voice translation on the go, or the T1 AI translator, which was the world's fastest offline translation device, you're going to be getting a very big upgrade on your translating powers very soon. All this means is that if you're heading to a country where you don't speak the language, want help teaching a different dialect, or are just about to conduct a key business deal with someone from a different country, you can feel even more confident that language is no longer going to be a barrier. Oh my word, there are so many robots here at CES. There's ones that fight, there's ones that do weird flexes, but the one that most people are talking about is LG's new Cloyd prototype. Now, this robot is a symbol of how LG thinks robots are going to impact our lives. Cloyd is basically a home appliance with wheels using generative AI to think, speak, and is designed to work with connected fridges, ovens, and washing machines to cook, clean, and generally become part of the family, apparently. Think Cloyd seeing you put your keys down somewhere stupid and realizing, hey, they should be over the hook by the door. You know where they are, you haven't had to find them, Cloyd helps out. The demonstration we saw at the LG's press conference was impressive but basic. Cloyd took a wet towel from one of the hosts and put it in the washing machine. It was quite slow and laborious, and you had the feeling that the whole thing was heavily choreographed, but it worked, and it still felt like a moment that we saw how robots might actually function in our lives in the future. Now, the obvious question you're going to ask, when is this coming to our homes? Is it going to be here in 2026? Absolutely not. This is a prototype, and so we don't know exactly when this is going to become commercially available, and I can tell you this, it is not going to be cheap when it comes. But what struck me this year is how many of these robots at CES are being made so human, with things like blinking eyes, fingers that can manipulate objects far more carefully than we all expected in 2026. The only thing is, every time I hear a robot speaking here at CES, I can't help but imagine the soft and warm voice suddenly going rogue and telling me, "You shouldn't be doing that, Gareth."
CES is all about what's next. We come here every year to see where technology is headed, from smarter devices to faster networks and more connected experiences. But CES also reminds us of something very practical. All of this innovation only works if you can stay connected wherever you are. That's where one of today's sponsors, Nomad eSIM, fits in. At CES especially, connectivity matters. You're moving between hotels, convention halls, meetings, and off-site events, often across multiple networks in a single day. Nomad eSIM offers seamless coverage in more than 200 countries, designed to keep you online without interruptions or hidden fees. In 2025, eSIMs became more widely adapted, changing how travelers stay connected across borders. As the category has grown, Nomad eSIM has become one of the most visible options, with presence across areas like the EPL and major streaming platforms contributing to broader awareness of the service. Nomad eSIM is a digital-first connectivity platform designed for international travel and cross-border use. Rather than relying on roaming fees, physical SIM cards, or airport purchases, the service allows users to activate mobile data directly on their phone or tablet, often before arriving at their destination. One of the core ideas behind Nomad eSIM is affordable premium connectivity. Plans start as low as $1.10 per gigabyte, but the focus is not just price. It's about reliable, high-quality global access that works when you need it. Nomad eSIM offers flexible choices across regular data plans from 1 gigabyte up to 30 gigabytes, unlimited plans, as well as regional and global options. Whether you're traveling for a few days, staying longer, or moving across multiple countries this winter, there is a plan designed to fit. If you're traveling this winter or planning international trips in 2026, Nomad eSIM is easy to get started with. Just download the app, pick a plan, install the eSIM, and you're good to go. Plans are available on both the web and mobile app. And Nomad eSIM is offering Digital Trends viewers a special promotion. Regular users can get 25% off regular plans, including data sizes from 1 gigabyte to 30 gigabytes, unlimited plans, and regional or global coverage options. Just use the code DIGITAL25 at checkout. As technology evolves, staying connected across borders has become increasingly important. Nomad eSIM is helping define what global connectivity looks like next. Now, let's jump back into our cool tech picks from CES 2026.
The final piece of cool tech I've seen here is the TDM Neo Hybrid headphones. Now, I'm a sucker for tech that does something different at CES, and these are among my favorites. The idea is simple. You're wearing your headphones and you meet some friends and want to start the party right there. With these cans, you simply take them off, twist the headphones into a ball, they connect with a magnet, and it starts pumping out sound from the quad 40mm drivers. You can also use the twist to perform other functions such as pausing or switching off the device. I love things that use gestures in new ways to do different things with text. For instance, you can wear them around your neck and pump out the sound that way, but I'm not sure you ever want to be that person. The Neo Hybrid headphones will be available later this month and cost $249 on Kickstarter. So that's the tech that wowed us at CES this year. I'm off to go and look at more robots and hope none of them look as scary as this one. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe if you're new here, and we'll see you very soon.
All right, some of the content explained on these videos will be asked on your first homework assignments. All right, so yeah, this is my recordings for the first week, covering the syllabus and explaining about your project, and then a little bit of looking inside the mobile technologies and also the trends. So all other things that we are going to discuss further and more from the next week. As I said, next week also I am going to give a lecture and record at my side and post them, so you can check it out at home. You don't need to come to a Manhattan campus, mainly because there is some family health issues. So I'm going to meet you in, I think, first week of February, face to face. All right, I'll see you one more time next week online.